Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Welcome to Next Level's video on how to lead the memory lane process.
So this is not a standalone video. It comes with another couple of videos which are how to lead a visualization and also the memory lane process. We talk about it from the Healy's perspective and what we're trying to achieve with it. And we also have the process outline, a sheet that goes with. Yeah.
So when you get to memory lane, the first thing you want to do is pause. Before you step onto memory lane, take a pause and explain what it is you're seeing here. So this is taking a pause to allow your sight to kick in. And as you know, by sight we mean visions, feelings, a sense of knowing or hearing or whatever, however you might see things in the spiritual realm. If your sight hasn't kicked in, don't worry, because you can still lead this process. You know the process steps, you know who's going to turn up when and what they're going to do. As an example, when you step into memory lane, you know their tupuna or their ancestors are going to turn up and they're going to plant flowers, and those flowers are going to be beautiful memories. You know they're going to walk down there, you're going to get them to pick those flowers. You know they're going to sit at the tree, so you sit them under the tree. You know what's going to happen to those flowers, they're going to seep into their body. So you can still do the visualization and lead that visualization without having your sight. But the more you do it, the more your sight will be honed and will come into play. So just when you start memory lane, take your time, stand there for a moment and look around. Allow your sight to kick in. And whatever you see, feel, hear, know, explain that to the Healy. So when your sight does kick in, the difference between just knowing that their tupuna or their ancestors turn up will be you might see them turn up, or you might have a sense of knowing of who that is. You might see what the type of flowers are there, or you might know what the type of flowers are there. You might hear messages from Jesus or the tupuna or whoever else it might be. You might see them forming in some type of tradition. They might be doing something on the sidelines. They might come up timid, or they might come up strong. All those sorts of things you can then start to explain to the Healy as you go.
And if you're working with a partner, you'll want to also pause to include them. So we'll see what they're seeing, what they're feeling. They might even have a caution before you step over. So just be aware of the pauses that you need to take.
Yeah. And when you first start working with a partner, if you're leading memory lane, then make sure you check in with your partner too. So I'm about to walk down memory lane, are you good to go? Those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Whereas when you've been working together for a while, your partner might, you'll pick up on your own signs and you'll know whether they're good to go or not, or you still might ask. But always check. Now, along with giving yourself time for your sight to kick in before you walk down memory lane, you also want to see who's going to turn up to walk down memory lane with the person. So that might be their inner child, that might be Jesus, that might be the divine angel. Whatever it is, or whoever it is, you want to give them time to turn up and take that person's hand and allow them to walk with them down memory lane. Nobody might turn up, and that's fine too, because you as the healer will always walk down memory lane with that person. Even if you can't see it, you know that you are walking down with that person down memory lane. What else do I want to say?
Well, we use memory lane before we break a connection. So if this process is being used in conjunction with that, breaking a connection, often we may get things come through that are trying to stop you from doing that, because that's a healing where the healing really is going to have a significant impact. And so you may see, if you do this work with a partner then, and so the partner may see things. So then you'll be wanting to communicate more with each other on memory lane.
Like I was just saying, stop and ask the partner.
Yeah.
Are they ready to go or not, if you're doing work with a partner? If you're not doing work with a partner and you're leading memory lane on your own, also take note. Are there any uglies that you just need to clear away and get out of the way so they're not impacting on your process? Then before you step into memory lane, kind of take time to feel whether it feels right to continue. It's like you might get a feeling of, actually, I don't want to walk down there yet. And if you get that feeling, then by all means take the time not to walk down there, because that will mean possibly that a message is coming or something like that, and you've just got to give it time to brew, if you like. But if you get the feeling that, okay, it's good to go, I'm going to carry on with this, then away you go. Then you start leading the process. Now we're going to walk down here, we're going to start picking the flowers, pick as many as you like, all those sorts of things. Explain to them they'll keep growing even when you pick them.
So that's really connecting with your intuition when you don't feel quite ready to go yet.
That's right. And just remember, as you're wandering down the lane, take your time. If you're working with a partner, take time for your partner to jump in if your partner wants to jump in. Take time for the healer to have their own, not visualizations, but imagine their own path in front of them and them doing all the things that you're talking about. So as you're leading this process, you're wanting to explain in as great a detail as you can what you want them to imagine. Otherwise they can't imagine it if you don't explain it that way. So explain, as you wander down there when the path opens up. Now, if you don't see this with your sixth sense or your sight, then just keep wandering down until you feel it's about right. You'll just get a feeling. It's about now the path starts opening up. And then just say the path's opening up and there's a clearing in front of you, because there's always a clearing in front of you whether you can see it or not. And take your time then as the path opens up and the clearing's there to again give yourself time for your senses to kick in. Is there anybody else there? Who are you seeing? Is there anything different there? What type of tree is it that's there? All of those sorts of things. Allow time for the unexpected. So sometimes Jesus might show you another path. There is another path in memory lane, and it's the path going forward, and it's on the other side of the clearing. So sometimes Jesus might take you to that path to show you that path. And then again, you're explaining that to the healer. Sometimes there's an overwhelming urge to walk up to the tree and place your hands on the tree and then in the tree. And then sometimes you feel like, oh my gosh, the whole body needs to hop in the tree. So you talk to your healer about that. Now imagine yourself stepping into the tree, and then talk them through the feelings that they're getting from the tree. Why are they stepping into the tree? What do they feel like? If you're not seeing it, you'll be feeling it. You'll have a sense of, I just need this person to step into the tree. I don't know why, but just say, step into the tree. And then whatever your feelings coming from it, your first thoughts, say that, because that's your sense starting to kick in. And again, while you're here, allow time for your partner, if you're working with a partner, for them to say what they're seeing, what they're feeling, what they think needs to happen. And then when they're sitting under the tree, they're back against the tree, take time to explain how that feels. Don't just now sit under the tree and all the flowers going into your body. Take the time You want them to feel all of this. The sun is pouring down on them. They're feeling warm on the outside. They can feel the tree behind them. It's hard, yet it's comfortable. You know, all of those things start to build the picture and allow the person to start feeling.
Yeah, and take a look at the tree itself. You know, what leaves is the tree of life growing? We've seen it where our tupuna are little photos on the tree.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to, you know, if you get a sense that it's a cactus instead of a tree of life, it's probably a cactus. So don't be afraid to say, the tree here today is this. Because when you go and look it up afterwards, and we suggest that you always look up things like that that are a bit random afterwards, do a quick search on Google. There'll be a significance sitting right there ready for you to tell your Healy about and explain what that meant. And then again, you know, when they put all the flowers on their knee and the colours start to seep into them, and this is where the memories of their tupuna or their ancestors are seeping into their body so that they can soak up all of those wonderful feelings that go along with it. So explain that, take your time to explain that to the Healy. Start swirling from the head, going all the way down to the toes. Get them to feel it swirling down. It feels warm on the inside. The colours are swirling around, you know. So explain what they can try to imagine and what they can try to feel. Explain those things to them.
And remembering you're feeling those feelings for them also.
Yeah. And then when it's finished, explain to the Healy that visualization has finished. It might be your whole session is finished. That's your healing session is doing memory lane. We used to do that as a standalone healing, and it was a beautiful healing. People loved it. They went away with great feelings. So it can be a standalone healing on its own. So explain to them that it's finished now and give them time to come around. Or if you're going on to do another healing, explain to them, right, now we're going on to do the next visualization, and it's this visualization. And give time for their inner child then to step forward to go with you for the next visualization, because your inner child will lead the work from here after this process. But if you're just doing memory lane on its own, then don't forget, hop in the fountain. Allow all that beautiful love to swish through the people, swish through you and the Healy. Lift any attachments, lift any memories. Not good memories, that's what we're lifting. We want them to keep the beautiful memories before you close the gate. So main things here: take your time, don't panic. If your sixth sense or your sight doesn't kick in, don't panic. You know the process, that's the key. Know the process inside out so you can actually talk to it and explain it. But take the time to allow your senses to kick in. Take the time to allow your partner, if you're working with a partner, to say what they're seeing, feeling, hearing, whatever it might be. And make sure that you explain things in full so the Healy can experience it too, as if they are seeing it for themselves.
And bring through those feelings as if you are the Healy walking down that memory lane.
Do those and you'll have it nailed. And you have a beautiful healing session for somebody. Okay. Ka kite.
Ka kite.